Behind the quiet farms and horse-drawn buggies of the Amish lies a hidden world, one where leaving is seen as betrayal, families are torn apart, and secrets are buried deep. Tonight, we uncover 15 shocking true stories of people who left the Amish, from abuse and heartbreak to resilience and triumph. These are the stories the Amish never wanted you to hear. Sam Schmucker. Sam Schmucker's story is one of faith, conviction, and leadership. From an early age, Sam questioned Amish traditions, especially their resistance to modern conveniences like cars. With only an 8th grade education, he found himself at odds with a lifestyle he felt lacked spiritual depth. His parents were eventually excommunicated for attending Bible studies, and Sam followed a new path. He pursued ministry, despite having no high school diploma, completing a 9-month program that changed his life. He went on to found the Worship Center, a thriving non-denominational church in Pennsylvania. For 4 decades, Sam ministered to thousands, becoming a symbol of what can happen when faith is paired with courage. His story shows how walking away from the Amish can lead not to loss of belief, but to a different expression of it. Audrey, alias. In 2016, an interview revealed the story of Audrey, a woman whose life was defined by her family's complicated relationship with the Amish. Her mother, struggling with addiction, sought refuge in the Amish way of life, where she met Audrey's father. For a time, the community seemed like a safe haven. But when Audrey was 12, her mother left, and her father soon followed. Though Audrey was glad to remain with her family, she quickly learned the price of departure. Childhood friendships vanished, and former Amish acquaintances turned their backs. Despite the shunning, Audrey found strength in the bond with her siblings, proving that even in loss, family can endure outside the Amish church. Mose Gingerich. Mose Gingerich was born in Wisconsin as the 9th of 13 children on a sprawling Amish farm. Bright and curious, he loved books like Tom Sawyer and dreamed of a life beyond the fields. At just 19, he became a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse, but deep down he longed for something more. A turning point came when he was caught with a small radio, a gift from an outsider, which filled him with country music and dreams of stardom. His punishment was severe, and the shame forced him into months of isolation. By 2002, Mose had left for good. His break from the Amish world cost him his family, but it also opened a new chapter. He gained national attention on Amish in the city, and later devoted himself to mentoring Amish youth trying to adjust to the modern world. His basement became a safe haven for those walking the same difficult path he once did. Saloma Miller. For Saloma Miller, leaving the Amish was not just a choice, it was survival. Born into abuse at the hands of her father and older brother, she endured years of pain behind closed doors. School became her safe haven, but by 14 she was pulled out to work. Marriage seemed to be her only escape, but Saloma couldn't bring herself to stay in a community that suffocated her. At 20, she fled Ohio for Vermont, even adopting a new name to hide her identity. With therapy and determination, she rebuilt her life, earning her GED and eventually studying at Smith College and even abroad in Germany. Now an author of multiple books and the subject of PBS documentaries, Saloma has turned her trauma into testimony. Her story shines a light on resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. Emma Gingerich. Raised in the conservative Swartzentruber Amish, Emma Gingerich's life was marked by restrictions and isolation. Dating customs shocked her most, young men being sent into girls' rooms overnight, a practice she could not understand. By 18, she knew she could no longer stay. She hid a cell phone given to her by a rebellious friend, and in January 2006, she slipped away, leaving a note for her parents apologizing, but declaring her need for a new life. Walking nearly 4 miles to reach a phone, Emma's escape was both terrifying and liberating. Settling in Texas, she earned her GED, completed college, and began pursuing an MBA. Yet, depression and culture shock haunted her transition. Emma's story is both triumphant and painful, showing the emotional toll of walking away from everything you've ever known. Kate Stoultz. Kate Stoultz, born Katie Stoltzfus, became one of the most famous ex-Amish women in the world. Growing up as a minister's daughter, she was expected to be the perfect Amish girl. Instead, she followed her passion for sewing, which later launched her into the fashion world. Kate starred in TLC's Breaking Amish and returned to Amish before moving to New York City to model. She appeared in magazines like Maxim and later studied at the Fashion Institute of Technology, interning with designers like Jason Wu and Cynthia Rowley. Today, she runs her own sustainable fashion line, Kate Stoltz NYC. Though her modeling career is considered scandalous in Amish culture, Kate has carved out a career defined by creativity, independence, and courage. Levi Shetler. For Levi Shetler, leaving started with a love for trucks. At just 15, he dreamed of driving, a forbidden desire in Amish life. When his older brother left at 17, Levi followed, spending his first night in freedom sleeping in a barn. Slowly, he built a new life in Ohio, finding work in construction and attending church with his cousin. But leaving cost him dearly. Friends ignored his letters, and visits home were cold and restricted. Even so, Levi embraced his independence, indulging his passion for mini trucks and living without the chains of Amish rules. His story is one of youthful defiance and determination. Barbie Amish. Barbie, another breaking Amish star, grew up as a preacher's daughter in a strict Kentucky community. Torn between her desire for independence and her family's expectations, Barbie shocked viewers with her courage to question the rules. Her story was filled with tense family confrontations, including one painful moment when her father hurled cruel insults after she declared she would leave. Despite heartbreak and struggle, Barbie became a symbol of resilience. Her journey resonated with fans who saw in her the universal struggle of choosing between tradition and freedom. Ora J. and Irene Ash. Ora J. and Irene Ash lived the traditional Amish life until tragedy struck. They lost 2 daughters in a farming accident, a grief so devastating it forced them to question everything. The loss led them to reevaluate their faith and way of life. Eventually, they left the Amish, a move that cost them their community but gave them space to heal and rebuild. In their book Plain Faith, they share their story with honesty, inspiring others who have faced unimaginable loss. Their journey shows that sometimes tragedy can be the catalyst for change. Timothy Sauter. Timothy Sauter's story is one of dreams and determination. Fascinated by science from a young age, he scavenged old televisions to learn more about the world. His parents, though Amish, quietly encouraged him with an encyclopedia when he was 8. At 20, a chance encounter with scientists in Colorado inspired him to leave and pursue education. Without even a high school diploma, he worked his way into the University of Pittsburgh, then Columbia University, where he studied biology. Today, Timothy lives in New York City, embodying the life he once only read about. His story proves that education can be the bridge from restriction to opportunity. Ruth Irene Garrett. Ruth Irene Garrett left the Amish in 1996, but she still longs for reconciliation with her family. Her decision was fueled by frustration at the mistreatment of women and the arbitrary enforcement of church rules. At 15, she fell in love with Audrey Garrett, a much older man who worked for her family. Knowing their relationship would never be accepted, they eloped. Ruth's father still pleads for her to return, but Ruth cherishes the freedom she found outside. Her story is a reminder of the cost women pay in communities that restrict choice and autonomy. Misty Griffin. Misty Griffin's story is among the most disturbing. Born into isolation, she and her sister were denied normal childhood experiences and even communication with others. At 19, she entered an Amish community, only to face sexual abuse at the hands of a bishop. Misty later spoke out, exposing not only her abuser, but also the community's silence on such crimes. Leaving the Amish, she wrote Tears of the Silence, a memoir that shed light on abuse within these closed societies. Today, Misty is a strong voice for survivors, proving that even the deepest trauma can be met with resilience. Jeremiah Raber. Jeremiah Raber became famous on Breaking Amish as the bad boy of the series. But behind the reality TV persona lies a difficult past. Adopted into an Amish family after being removed from his biological mother as an infant, Jeremiah struggled to fit in. His adoptive mother was often disappointed in him, and eventually he became estranged from his family. In 2012, Jeremiah embraced modern life, building a social media presence and even teaching Pennsylvania Dutch online. His story is a complicated mix of fame, rebellion, and a search for identity. Anna D. Olsen. Anna D. Olsen grew up in Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, immersed in Amish life until 24. Bullied for her weight and starved of affection, she longed for escape. Babysitting for a non-Amish family gave her a glimpse of another world, and eventually she left. She quickly earned her high school diploma and began building a new life. Today, Anna is a public speaker and writer, using her story to inspire others to embrace their differences and find strength in their struggles. Faith Elizabeth Hunter. Faith Elizabeth Hunter's story is both harrowing and inspiring. Raised in strict Amish traditions, she endured emotional abuse, strict obedience, and psychological control. She eventually recognized the cult-like atmosphere of her upbringing and made the courageous choice to leave. Today, she uses her platform on TikTok and public speaking engagements to raise awareness about the lasting trauma of fundamentalist ideologies. By sharing her story, she empowers others to heal and reclaim their freedom. Faith's journey proves that leaving isn't the end, it can be the beginning of healing and purpose. These 15 stories reveal the courage it takes to walk away from the Amish world. For some, it meant heartbreak, shunning, and the loss of family. For others, it opened doors to education, careers, and even fame. Each story is different, but they all share one truth. Leaving the Amish is never easy, but sometimes it's the only way to find freedom.